Crossroads, how are we feeling? We feeling
Bring
good?
the
We feeling
energy.
amped? I'm Robert Michael Jones. I'm part of STEP. I'm the partnerships guy here at STEP. I'm very honored to be here today. I'm honored to be introducing you to some of the coolest people in the entire Solana sphere. We have Caitlin Cook, we have Lizzie Liu, and we have Ivan, who is building some incredible things. First off, I'd just love for you guys to introduce yourselves, give a little bit of background about where you're from, what you're doing, and yeah, you have the floor.
Yeah,
Caitlin, go.
I'll start. Hi guys, my name's Caitlin. I'm the director of Moonwalk Fitness, or director of growth at Moonwalk Fitness. Moonwalk is a fitness accountability app that's combining daily step goals and financial incentives to help people form healthy habits that actually last. I think we have a lot of users in the audience today too, so shout out to all of you all, but excited to talk a little bit more about what we're working on.
Yeah, very excited.
I'm a user. So hi everyone. My name is Lizzie Liu. I'm the CEO of Cudis. So who has here a Cudis rig? Awesome.
Oh.
Love it. So we're the first health tracker that's building in Web3 and of course building on Solana. So super happy to be here.
All right, and Ivan.
Yeah, hey guys, my name is Ivan. I joined crypto as a lawyer, kind of boring side, but then started to invest in ICOs, which was super fun back in 2016, and studied in the US, started my own firm called 3X Capital, and now we are accelerating startups on Solana and also building Nomadz, which is a community-driven platform for travelers. So basically you can travel the world, book with crypto, and get rewarded for that.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
And Ivan, you did a good job of telling a little bit about your background. I think it'd be really helpful, this being a health panel, this being a product panel in health, to know a little bit about our people that are on this panel. So, Caitlin Cook, you played D1 soccer in college.
Briefly.
Briefly played D1 soccer in college. Is that kind of what had inspired your health journey and what got you into where we are right now?
It's definitely part of it, and that's a longer story. I played for like a month, but my entire family growing up is insanely active. So I grew up in a very rural area, so if you did that as well, you know you kind of have to entertain yourself. Being outside and being active was a massive part of that, and I think that's something that I've always carried with me throughout every job. After I stopped playing soccer, after I graduated college, when I moved to Chicago to work in finance, and every startup job I've had since then. And I think we're going to get into this as well. If you're working in a high-stress, demanding job, you have to, and you realize this at some point, hopefully many of you have realized this already, but there's such a high need for you to prioritize your health both physically and mentally to perform at your best. And thankfully, that's something that I think I carried with me from my youth into my career, and something that I'm obviously through Moonwalk now trying to help encourage others to do the same.
Great. And Lizzie, tell us a little bit about your journey to where you are now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for Cudis, for me anyway, is maybe not too much of a fitness thing. For me, I do a lot of sports. I run, I do skiing. But really, for me, it's more of a holistic health and wellness thing. That's why, on the rig, you can track your sleep, and you can really rest. And for me, prioritizing rest, prioritizing my stress, that's been kind of how I end up here.
Great. Yeah, and Lizzie, you also just touched on something very valuable, which is holistic health. Really a non-prescriptive, more of a proactive versus prescriptive way of viewing health. How do you guys see the landscape for what is changing and how Solana can help develop that for proactive versus prescriptive health? Start with you, Lizzie.
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually worked in a healthcare tech company before this. So I lived in the US, so there's definitely a lot more of distrust and mistrust on the whole medical and pharmaceutical industry. The fact that the industry even exists is built on your diseases and the fact that you will be sick for a long time. So I think that has always been, I'm not saying individually people are doctors, whatever, that's what they're hoping for, but I think it's just designed this way as a system. So what we're really trying to do, and people kind of hear more cuckoo terms like holistic health, Chinese medicine, all of this is really just to push people to manage their health before they even get sick. And the meaning of sickness is also a lot more different now. It's not just like physical. It's also a lot more mental. It's a lot more like how you manage your stress, and a bunch of more things. So it has been so much more broad. So this whole new thinking, I think, for blockchain side especially, can really help people to not only think more openly, creatively, but also on the data side. That I think we're
And
gonna.
I know Caitlin's
dig
going to have something to say about the data
exactly.
side.
To really help people to have the ownership.
Oh, I mean, if we're trying to do hot takes on the panel, but I wasn't planning to start on this, but I mean, I think it's an interesting conversation and one that we'll probably continue later. There's a consumer panel later. Put a little promo out for that at 5 p.m. on the stage. But something to think through just in terms of, how Solana and Solana-based products can help with this. And obviously, we're in this space for a reason. We all believe in, all of the ethos of it, and don't need to go into that because we're all here for a reason. But I think it's kind of a more complex conversation between, the benefits of the tech versus what resonates with users. And I've always kind of had a bit of hesitation around data ownership and whatnot as maybe necessarily the main pitch, and whether or not that would be successful with more of a mainstream crowd. But that was kind of my lukewarm, potentially hot take on that.
Okay. And Ivan, how do you feel about this?
Yeah, I think in general it's super important to build health, because as Cudis say, health is wealth. I have a T-shirt like that.
Love it.
I got it in Hong Kong. So I really think that founders need to prioritize health to their growth and development, because without health they cannot achieve anything basically in life. They will just sacrifice themselves in order to grow, in order to build. So I think there is a big role of IRL events. This is something that helping Solana community to grow exponentially. This is how I was personally onboarded, through Breakpoint, through Founders Villa, also organized Solana Temple this year, where people do a lot of great things, not just building, but also doing meditation, workouts, ping pong, and some other cool sports challenges by Moonwalk. Just recently had a great times together. So health is wealth, and we need to focus on that thesis at Solana to build sustainably, not just ups and downs.
Yeah, completely hear that.
I just want to add very quickly on the wealth part. Like maybe some of you are like, okay, like I understand that you need to prioritize your health, but how does Solana really help us? I think for all of us, we have this like way of incentivizing our users through using Solana, because it's scalability, because of its community-driven approach. So for all of our product, really, like the more you use it, the more you earn. So that's ultimately not only you can stay healthy, you can also stay wealthy.
And not only do you give feedback to gain and like benefit from this, but also like user feedback is, I know in all three of your platforms, is so important and pivotal in how you guys develop. I'd love to hear a little bit about how that kind of shapes what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I mean, since we're here at a conference that I know is being facilitated by STEP and that entire organization and what they've done with Solana All-Stars, I guess start there. For Moonwalk, I mean, our end mission for this product is to be helping as many people around the world as possible, regardless of geography, financial situation, or where they're starting in their fitness journey, to form healthy habits that they actually keep. In doing that in a very simple way, rather than what we see often in the traditional health and wellness space, which I think is often gimmicky, overpriced, in things that almost structure in a way for people to fail, where they're kind of going through the motions of it and just trying to find a solution that works for them. We want to make health unintimidating. So to do that, we want to bring it to as many people as possible. And to do that, we need feedback. And one of the best things that we have done early on is partner with Solana All-Stars, who great kind of symbiotic relationships there for them to have a consumer application to talk with onboarding people to crypto that, resonates and is very simple and simple on purpose. But for us, I mean, we need as much feedback as we can get with, what works and what doesn't, how to use the product at in-person events, how to onboard people. So you can't really do that without a group of people who are incentivized just as much as you are for you to succeed and make the product better. And that's just been the most invaluable partnership that we've made so far, I'd say.
Fantastic. Actually, do we have any Solana All-Stars in the audience with us? Raise your hand if you're a Solana All-Star. All right. Wow. Look at that. That is pretty cool. Awesome. Wow. Yeah. Sorry. Continue, Lizzie. I want to hear about your product development and how community drives that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I come from a background of customer experience. So that's pretty much like the whole concept of Cudis. And for us, it's always customer first. We originally came up with a product because it's what we wanted. So we came through in a lens of like, if I was a customer, what kind of product do I want to have, and what kind of experience do I want to have for myself? So for us, we're pretty close with our people on Discord. We chat every week to talk about like random things. How are you eating well? How are you moving well? As well as taking a lot of user feedback. Either it's on bugs, of course they do exist for us, but also like just feature requests. People are saying like, oh, first when we launched our ring last year, April, it's too heavy, it's hard to maneuver. So we launched our current V2 ring, which is like only 3 grams. And then now people are saying, okay, I want something more sporty, I want something more special, more color. So we're going to kind of put that in work and really deliver what our product, what our customer wants to see.
Great.
Yeah.
And Ivan?
Yeah, I know Cudis quite well. I was one of the first 30 users.
Love
I
it.
think is number 28, Cudis too. So I was onboarded by Dirk, co-founder, and I provided a lot of feedback during the way, and I
Love
see
it.
how you implement, how you change, how you can continuously build and ship new features, which is super cool. And I really enjoy using the products, competing in the leaderboard and being top 1 user.
Oh, wow.
Cudis.
Awesome.
Yeah, and also onboarding my friends, my sister, and everyone globally to Cudis, as I think it's super fun now to stay fit, to sleep well, to improve your health with AI coach. So there are a lot of cool features built in.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm super grateful for just this positive impact on the community in general.
I have to thank our like first users because of course in the beginning when we launched the product, I wouldn't say it's at its best shape. But I think another amazing thing about working in blockchain startup is that you iterate so fast. So I think happy that you stay with us with patience.
Sure.
And Ivan, I'd like to hear a little bit about the impact of community on Nomadz, on Solana Temple, on everything that you're building, because you are quite a community builder yourself. You've built a massive community around you, and I think that a lot of what people see of you is that you are a builder that is very, very ingrained in fitness. Some of your posts, all of your posts are about fitness and health. So we'd love to hear a little bit about how you've developed that.
Yeah, I think that since my childhood, I was doing different types of sports, like table tennis, then boxing, competing. I had a lot of fun, and at the same time, I was trying to organize people around to do it together. It's much better. And I realized that there are opportunities to grow faster when you are surrounded by like-minded people, people who support, people with whom you can compete sometimes, of course. So I started to think about the program. It's called Solana Temple that we did in Bali this year with Cudis and Solana Foundation, many other people who joined us. It was a month-long program with 104 builders coming in Bali. And I think for us, it was important to also get people together, meet IRL, spend a lot of time comparing to the conferences where you come together just to network. There you become like friends, partners, or not. So I think that community is super important, especially if you build something new. You need to adopt fast, and you need to communicate really proactively with an open mind. So I'm providing updates, asking questions almost every week about what we can improve, whom I need to be connected with. Community helps a lot to grow. And I think that it's kind of the huge value add in general for Web3 products to have these people surrounded, motivated to get some rewards, of course, through point systems or tokens or NFTs. There are a lot of opportunities to incentivize people. So community is super valuable for Web3 in general.
Do you find that the people that you have at Solana Temple are needing advice in different things such as like physical health? Do you find that they gravitate towards that because they are looking for something that are like they can do to improve their health as well?
Yeah, I saw this a lot. We had different people, from people who work out like myself every day to people who are not working out for years. So of course we calibrate in the end of the program, and some people start to more proactively being involved in different sports initiatives. And my pleasure to see how people grow, change, especially in 1 month. We had even this body composition weights where you can scan your body, see how much fat you have, how much muscles, and some other components. So for us, it was something that we were exploring during 28 days of the program, how people change. But also I saw that people want to just be together with other individuals, not because of the health part, but because they are building something cool, they are trading something like meme coins or other tokens, they're having fun together. So the community aspect IRL is super valuable. Just the highlights probably of Solana Temple, how great to see people build together, learn together, work out together. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Amazing lifestyle.
Yeah. I feel like having everybody all there kind of keeps everybody accountable to everything. Like if you see your friend is kind of like struggling either with like freaking out because they have a bug to fix, they can't get it done, or their sleep schedule is crazy and they're like, I can't do this. And like, dude, you got to get some sleep. I feel like accountability is such an important key in community, and keeping everybody accountable for all the things that they need to do to be the best versions of themselves they possibly can be. And I'm going to toss this over to you, Caitlin, because I feel like your Moonwalk Fitness app is really, really based around keeping people accountable to their health goals, to their fitness goals, and to the community at large.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of said it yourself, but the social component of fitness is so important. There's a reason that run clubs and fitness classes are so prevalent, and there's a reason that people almost seem like kind of addicted to, oh, I'm gonna go into my class every day, or, see the same group of people. There's an accountability component to it that we're also tapping into with Moonwalk, which is fitness can be really isolating and easily intimidating when you do it on your own. It can feel like a chore, it can feel monotonous. But when you do it in a group where there is the ability to connect with like-minded people, where you're all going the same direction and have the same goals, that's really powerful, whether you realize it or not. And I think subconsciously, it helps hold you to doing what you say you're going to do when you're around a group of other people who are doing the same. Yep. So just that collective groupthink being used for a positive purpose, and also making it fun, yep, which I think is the most important thing. Like everyone talking about in-person events, I think that's such an important component of, you form these connections online all the time, and that's what's so great about conferences, right? We go in person, we see the people that we've spoken to before. It's the same with an app like Moonwalk. We have the group competitions online. Something I want to push is, how do we get these people who have formed connections, how do we allow them to connect more easily? How do we implement more social features? Because the human connection part and kind of forming these close-knit groups from a health perspective is just like so invaluable. Yeah. And you see a much higher success rate of people who continue to come back and perform the way they want to when they're alongside other supportive people.
Yeah, 100%. And, it's about having a supportive network there that really drives you. Like that extra 10% when you get out of bed and you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this today.
And it happens to everyone. Like, there are going to be days when you don't want to show up, and that's kind of back to the premise of our entire product. But like, there needs to be accountability beyond just your own will, like willpower, right? Yep. So whether that's a friend texting you saying, hey, you going to class, or Moonwalk saying, hey, you'll lose a little bit of money if you don't do what you're going to do today just because you don't feel like it. So sometimes we need those nudges, and to turn it into an actual lifestyle, you need to find what works for you and figure out what that nudge is that actually gets you to stay consistent.
Now, you are hosting a couple of different IRL events here for Crossroads. We just did you had the walking tour yesterday. Do you want to talk a little bit about the other cool events that you have coming up?
Yeah, so yesterday, shout out to anyone who came, by the way. This is the first time trying this, but you go to conferences so often and you don't actually see the city that you're in, which is a real shame because they're always in really cool places. So we did just a simple walking tour with a group of probably like 40 people through Istanbul to see the sites yesterday, which was great. Good use of a Thursday. But then we did today, which is Heysel, which is with Cudis and DFit and FOMO as well, of doing just a fitness competition, similar to the Hyrox fitness competitions, which are like the fastest growing contest in the world. So just challenging people to, be high performers, challenge themselves, do something fun. There are a lot of happy hours. I think we're all fatigued by the 100,000 side events of these things with open bar. They're all the same. You don't always have connections. You don't always feel great after. A lot of people probably feel that. But we're trying to bring, and I think collectively, which we were talking about prior to coming on this panel, it's like the Solana fitness builders, we've really come together and kind of built out like a collective of sorts where we all want to start bringing more positive experiences to events like this that show people that, oh wow, like I feel good doing this, maybe I should do it more, and kind of show people that you don't need to be having a dozen drinks to like have an excuse to connect with people and form new contacts and chat and have a good time.
Yeah, no, that's a great way to bring people together. Lizzie, what would you say is your like number one event that you're excited about, like around fitness here?
About fitness this year, wow.
It can be the one after today, which I highly recommend everybody goes to today.
The HISO event we're definitely super excited about, and we're going to hold something in New York in May. So I think that's kind of last year May or last year April really is where we launched our product. So to us, it's like very sentimental. So we're going to host a bunch of events there, and of course bring in fitness to the busy New York. So that I think will be really exciting. So make sure if you're in New York, check it out. And just to add quickly on the accountability thing, I feel like it's just really cool. I mean, I don't have a better word to describe this. I just feel like it's cool now, like people are building this kind of things that like encouraging not drinking alcohol, encouraging people to like rest well. So I'm sure part of your life at some point, you're taking pride into like drinking a lot or like sleeping only 3 hours, so you have to grind. I just think that's no longer cool anymore, at least like in the Solana community where we're all building. We're in a way holding the whole community accountable. Like let's all do better for ourselves and for people applying the right peer pressure or influence. So I think that's something really cool today.
You touched one topic real quick there, sleep health. I know I'm underslept. I know most of us are probably underslept, but sleep health is so important. I would love to hear about how Cudis is tackling the issue of sleep health and how it's helping inform people how to be better at that.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to say, but ever since in college, there was a professor who explicitly does like sleep research. So he had a lot of good things to say that really like encourage us to really accentuate sleep in our product design and product build. So for now, of course, if you have the ring, you can track your sleep and then you can track your wellness, like activity, steps, and a bunch of other things, vitals. So what we're going to do is we're in the midst of launching a data marketplace. So for all the builders and researchers out there, if you find it helpful, you find this interesting, we're providing more of a platform for the developers and for the builders, for the researchers to use our data, individual data, how you sleep, how does that correlate to all of the other performances and your readiness. So that's going to be coming already this month or next.
Yeah, cool. And another big topic. This one is like it hits close to home for probably everybody. But how does mental health? Do you feel like mental health is impacted by physical health? Love to hear your opinions on this. Let's start with you.
I mean, there's a direct connection between like body and mind, and like one will lead the other. So, and I think something that's been maybe historically underrated in this part of the industry where it's very high pressure, high stakes, high amount of working hours, very little sleep for a lot of people, that has an impact on performance both physically and mentally. And I think the more, kind of going bigger picture here outside of, Solana and whatnot, but to your point, there's been such a revitalization of conversations around health, which makes me obviously very excited for what we're working on, but I think just good overall. It's becoming more part of the cultural conversation of, maybe it's not cool to like literally never get sleep and be kind of miserable and always be locked at your desk, which is literally killing you if you sit there for 6 hours plus in a day without getting up. Like you need to take breaks. So it's more of how more conversations are coming up of like, how can we integrate more positive habits into, the day-to-day that we have in a very busy industry. And I see a lot of people in Solana talking about it more and more as well, which I think is going to lead to a much better culture. We're not saying don't work. We're saying if something is important, which body and mind, I would say, are very important, both for your life and for your work, then that should be something that you account for and like build into your day, because if it matters enough to you, you will make the time and you will find the time. So it's definitely positive to see so many conversations coming up around it, people being really vulnerable with sharing their stories of like what's helped them. And I think more culturally, just like as a society, that's something that's coming up more and more. And I think that we're heading in a much more positive, healthy direction.
Great. And Ivan, sorry, specifically, I think from Solana Flow, from Flow Bali, like you guys had meditation sessions there, right? Can you talk a little bit about how that, what was the idea behind that? Why did you guys do that?
Yeah, we actually had 2 types of sessions every day. First, it's breathing, like a Wim Hof technique, combined with fitness workout by Kwan from like a professional fitness coach. And second part was meditation plus yoga. So every day you have different types of workouts. And of course, we had workshops explaining how meditation, how breathing impact your health, your productivity. So I saw a lot of founders transforming from kind of chaotic people who don't know what to build, what to do next, to people who have a structured and clear mindset on now. And on what to do next. So which was really like great to see how they perform and how they start to enjoy meditation. As for majority of us, it's quite boring to sit for 20 minutes and like breathe or do nothing at all. So I think there is a huge impact on the founder's performance through mental practices as well. Through sports, of course, it's about discipline, about performance, about continuous growth on a personal level. So definitely encourage everyone to try and to perform better with meditation and breathing practices. For me, it was like life-changing to try the Wim Hof and incorporate in daily lifestyle.
I think sometimes when you learn something new, it can be a little bit intimidating to approach it. What would you recommend as a first step in getting into meditation?
I think like start small from 2 to 5 minute practices. Maybe download the app. There are a few apps connected to the mindfulness. Maybe we will see something in Cudis later on, which actually
AI coach.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It might be a cool feature where a person can turn on like some guided meditation and you give points for doing like 5, then 5,
Writing down.
30 seconds and so on. So I think it should be very basic in the beginning without significant effort. So for person, it will be like more comfortable long term to incorporate in daily lifestyle. So start small and then progress slowly.
Great. You guys, we're getting close to the end of our talk, which is making me sad. But I want to do a little segment called She Shills by the Seashore,
Oh my God.
where you guys have 20 seconds to shill everything that you want to shill. I know Cudis specifically has a little bit of a discount going on right now.
Oh,
Lizzie,
yeah.
if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So for this event only, we're doing discount of $60. So for anyone who wants to find me, hopefully I'll be obvious enough for you to find, and then get a code. And then we'll be also giving rewards later from the HISO event for free. So make sure to come and check it out. And since I still have 10 seconds, we're going to launch another NFT collection in May. So for anyone who's like super into NFTs, definitely don't miss it. It's going to come with a lot of other perks besides airdrop. So hopefully we'll enhance our community and make that really fun coming in May.
All right. And Kaylin, go ahead.
Yeah, no launches to announce or anything like that right now, but I would just say the pure shill is if you've ever thought about improving your physical health, working on your mental health, to the point of how to get started with that, you said something very important, which is starting small. And I think a product like Moonwalk, there's literally no excuses for you. There's free mode if you don't want to put money on the line. There's the ability to join games that have a lower step count per day, games that you can push yourself with higher step count per day. Start small, give yourself the wins, and build up from there. It truly is at your pace, and I think that's where the real habits actually sustain themselves and become lifestyles, things that you can actually achieve every single day. That's like the most important part, right? So get started. It's in the App Store. It's on Google Play as well for Android users, and just working on improving the experience. Obviously, there's a lot that we can do around gamifying activities beyond steps, doing different types of contests, and obviously want to make the community part of it much more pertinent and have social features, communities, allow groups to form. So it's going to get a lot of, be really, really fun. So we'll have a lot of product updates coming soon. So follow along there.
Great. And Ivan, please.
Yeah, I probably want to shield two things. First of all, today is the birthday of the most positive person I ever know. It's my sister. She's with us in the room. Let's give a round of applause to her. And also today we are launching nomadz.xyz, so you can register in
Amazing.
our app. You can create your profile, you can claim your achievements, complete some quests, and soon you will be whitelisted and you will travel, pay with crypto, get rewarded. So it will be super fun.
So it's the first day of
Yeah,
Nomadz.xyz.
What an announcement.
So we have 2 birthdays. I think that requires a birthday song. You guys ready to sing a birthday song? All right, I'm gonna start it. Happy birthday to you. Come on, everybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nomadz. Happy birthday to you. Woo! You guys, I want to say thank you to my wonderful guests. This has been amazing. Thank you all so much for coming to Crossroads. Up next, we have Arif, who's going to be talking about Alethea AI. Yeah, I'm so excited. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.